So, how are you doing with me having a disability? I said that to my date right after we ordered dessert because I knew if I did not say that, chances are I would never see him again. I had never asked him that question before to a date. And my heart sank as I saw big tears well up in his eyes, begin to roll down his face. And he said softly, "I'm just so uncomfortable with your disability." And in the millisecond, I was transported to so many times of feeling like that would be the ultimate barrier to me finding love, finding companionship, being with someone. And yet, all my life, I had longed to fall in love and eventually share my life with someone. After all, I was the youngest of 4 kids, and I have watched my siblings all fall in love, happily settle down at a relatively young age, as our parents did. So that was the model that I had, but that was in my life. And I remember one night in particular when I was in college and we had our formal dance, and it was the evening of getting dressed up, going for a night some dinner, dancing the night away, and I wasn't about to miss that. But I didn't have a date. I went with all of my couple friends. I had a good time, but at the end of the night, I came home to a lonely, quiet dorm room where all my friends went to the hotel with their dates for much of my privacy. And when I was alone in the dorm room, I just sank down to a cheap futon and began crying and wondering, would I ever find someone who would love me as a lover and see me and my disability and be okay with that. Fast forward to that date and him saying I'm just so uncomfortable because you have a disability. I thought I am never going on another date again. This is way too hard. It hurts too much. However, I was able to take another breath and let go of that because, you know what, by that point in my life, I was in my late 30s, and I was just sick and tired of the limiting beliefs about myself and my disability when it came to dating being a barrier. I wanted things to be different. So I let go, I breathed, and I said, well, this is who I am. Cerebral palsy is not going away. I have it for life. And you need to determine if that's what you want, because you see, I like you. I took a breath and said, I like you. I want to get to know you, but you need to decide if this is what you want, because this is who I am. So we talked for a little more that night, because he had never really been around someone with a disability before. When I got in my car that night and drove home, I really had no clue if I would see this guy again. But I knew that I was changed because I did not let my history, my limiting beliefs hold me back again. And what happened that night was, it set me on a different path in my career and in my business. And I began specializing in helping people with disabilities. I'm feeling more confident in the dating scene, on having a more positive view of themselves as some potential partners and in relationships. I began working on how people with disabilities can rise above what I call sexual ableism, which is a set of beliefs that discriminate against some people with disabilities, simply suggesting that because you have a disability, you are therefore inferior in the area of dating, relationships, and sexuality. I began this path of teaching and supporting people how to rise above sexual ableism, how to let go of their limiting beliefs, how to develop a more positive view of themselves, how to have confidence specific to dating and relationships, how to nurture and grow healthy relationships by using skills, how to develop healthy boundaries so that your relationships fulfill you and bring you joy, and also how to have personal empowerment and awareness to help reduce your potential for abuse. This is why I specialize in reading abilities. And if you want to get started, if you're ready to get rid of limiting beliefs, make changes to move towards dating and relationship goals, you may want to check out the bio link, which is all about how to write a dating profile and disclose your disability. But back to that date. So, I didn't know if I would see him again. And the next night, they sent in the days before smartphones. I come home from work. I check my inbox. His name appears. I cannot click it open fast enough. And the email says, I'm still not sure I can date someone with a disability, but you are so confident and beautiful in who you are. I at least need to get to know you. So we went out on a second date, and then the third date. I began to ask him after every date, so, how are you doing with me having a disability? And he would say, I'm still not sure. And then he would follow it up with, so what are you doing next weekend? I knew we were headed somewhere. And sure enough, we were heading somewhere because 2 years later, on a beautiful September day, we were married, have been married now for over a decade. So, when that's what you want for your life, if you want to let go of the limiting beliefs, if you want to have your future be different from your past, I have resources. I can teach you skills. I can help you get that vision for yourself. So thank you for watching. As I mentioned, if you're looking for information, there's a link in the bio link to help you with writing a dating profile and some tips on how to disclose your disability to a date, because I know that can be a very debated issue. Thank you for watching. Take care.